Hello, beautiful Leo, and welcome to your past life ancestor message. I just felt super called to do this for each of the zodiacs right now. So I don't know. I always just do what I'm called to do. So I'm Erica. I am a psychic medium and a high priestess. If you're new here, welcome. And those of you guys returning, welcome back. Okay, so you guys seen the title. You guys already kind of have, I don't know what's going on here yet, but I do know I just did Aries, and then I sat down and I just tuned in and I was like, okay, which zodiac do I do next? And I immediately heard Leo. So we're doing Leo. Okay, so right as I'm starting your message, a magpie just flew down in front of my window and landed on my grass. So there could be something significant about birds in general. Birds are messengers of spirit and the spiritual realm. You could be a psychic and a medium. You know, these are gifts that you've had through many lifetimes and other lifetimes, right? Like if you're like, yes, I'm super psychic, or yes, I'm very connected to the birds. Yes, I'm very connected to the owls and the crow and the raven and the magpie and the eagle and, you know, and different things like that. Okay. Like those are soul resonances that you've had through other, you know, many lifetimes. Something about the magpie. If you feel called, look up the spiritual meaning of the magpie. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna start with these. So, magpies are very connected to witches. I literally have so many magpies that live in the trees across from me. So I always have magpies in my front yard, and doves and magpies and little finch birds, and the hawks are always around, and the crows and the geese, and you know, but for sure, like all year round is the doves and the magpies. I have a school bus driving by, big yellow school bus, and the numbers on it are 121. Could be significant. January 21st. 121 could be a sign you see. I don't know. It breaks down to a 4 though. Maybe life path 4 or something about the 4th. Oh my God, today's the 4th, and today's the 4/4 portal. Duh. Okay, well there's that. Okay, so that's significant too. You could be like a soul, like you're very like connected to, right, like the energy, right? Like we're all connected to the energy, duh. But like for you, you could be very, very sensitive to like the certain transits and planetary transits and portals and, you know, moon phases. I'm literally hearing a sun goddess. I don't know. Talking to some sun goddesses here. You could be connected to, you know, deities of the sun and sun, literal like goddesses of the sun. Like the sun god Ra and Sekhmet, sun dragons and sun angels. Okay. And now I'm literally getting like harnessing energy from the sun. So in past lives, you know, you've been able to like connect, like you were able, you know, on a soul level, some of you guys know how to harness the energy and power of the sun, the solar power, the healing power too. You know, like nowadays, like humans, they try to, you know, do solar panel, right? Like solar panels and all this stuff. But like the technology that we knew in Atlantis and that we used in Atlantis, like humans now, like they have, it's so like low level compared to the knowledge and wisdoms that we in Atlantis knew, and Lemuria and ancient Egypt, right, etc. But especially like Atlantean technology. So I don't know, so immediately like we're getting that Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient Egypt. Okay, so take what resonates with you. You know, this, you know, I do offer, you know, you guys can find all like my reading options and spiritual services that I offer in the description box. I just saw 444, and then I'm immediately getting angelic souls. So some of you guys are earth angels, some of you are like star seeds. You know, You may have like a really strong connection with the angels, like archangels and like your angels, and just like maybe you get like angel messages, or maybe that's a part of your gifts, like you channel angel messages. You could also be like an oracle channel for like the Pleiadians or the Arcturians, you know, like you could be very galactic in that regard, like a starseed, you know. Like if you notice, like all of the light warriors on Earth, right? Like some of them are very galactic, very connected to star races, and that's what they talk about and do readings about, etc. And some are very like me, like, you know, I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm very priestess, you know, very witchy priestess, you know, in that regard. You know, I'm an oracle, I'm a prophetess, I'm a seer, a medium, right? Psychic, like it's all connected. But like my calling here is not to be, you know, like a dominant Pleiadian channel or a Lyran channel, you know what I mean? So there's like, you know, everyone plays their part, right? But anyways, I'm just getting like angel channels and star seed channelers, okay? So you could be like a melting pot of like a bunch of different things. That's kind of how I am. What was I gonna do? Oh, 121. That's what I was looking up for you guys real quick. These are just like angel numbers. We're gonna see what this book says. Healing. 121 is healing. It says you are repairing yourself. The wounds are still healing, but your angels are with you during this time. They want you to know that someday it won't hurt as much as it does today. Spend some time with innocent creatures today, children, animals, or anyone who has pure love in their heart. Feel the unconditional love of the divine when you look into their eyes. That's so sweet. So just a message connected to that, you know, the 121, you know, for you guys right now. So let's go ahead and get a couple cards here. What message, past life, ancestor messages? So this is like past lives. This is from your ancestors, but also keep in mind that like you are your own ancestor, you know? You know, it's really strange to think about it in that way, but it's like the truth, you know? Like if you've had a lot of incarnations here on Earth, something about the throat chakra too, like a part of like your, you know, like you're healing a lot of your truth. It's a lot of throat chakra healing. You know, there's been a lot of injustice, inauthenticity, deception, stuff like that. It's like your lineage has had, see, even right now I'm getting a block in my throat. It's like your lineage has not been able to speak their truth. So you're like this curse breaker, right? So in past lives, like you weren't able to speak your truth. I'm hearing you were condemned. So some of you guys, like you were condemned, you were persecuted, you were put to death, you were, you know, like you were imprisoned. And it was a great injustice because you were not in the wrong. It was lies that were being told to condemn you. And that's why I'm getting the throat and also now the heart. So it's like your heart was blocked too. Your heart was broken because of this. You know, because of these inhumane acts that were done against you, maybe your loved ones. This feels very strongly tied to the witch wound, being called a witch or a practitioner of, you know, of magic. You know, people have always feared what they don't understand. You know, so if you've always been different. You've always been different. You've always been, you know, you've carried that energy. And that's been you in past lives too. Kuan Yin is showing up. I love it. So Goddess Kuan Yin, Ascended Master, care and compassion. Choose to be love. It is a choice every day, right? I mean, we just like naturally embody it, but it's like a choice every day. So that's like in your past lives, like you've consistently chosen love. You know, we've all had past lives where we've created negative karma or we've done things, right? But, you know, like, but mostly things have been done against us. You know what I mean? So do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. I feel like I love that message, but at the same time, like, do what's right for everyone. I feel like sometimes we can do that to a fault. You know, we can do that like to a fault where we're just like drained because we're doing everything for everyone, and we're trying to people please or appease or you know what I mean? And that's like a past life trait. Like keeping the peace, but in this lifetime, you're like disrupting those things, right? Okay, bottom of the deck is the Shekinah. I love it because the Merkaba with the white dove, like you are a Shekinah, you are a high priestess, you're a healer, you're connected. Look at like the moon, the crescent moon on her third eye. The crescent moon on the third eye is, you know, it's moon goddess, priestess, you know, healer, witch, like, you know, it doesn't matter, but like, you know, in history, in ancient histories, you know, the crescent moon and the divine feminine is very, very significant, but also just working with the moon magic, harnessing the magic and energy of the sun and the moon. Like some of you, like in past lives, it says unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life, sacred self. I'm also getting like deep connection. So we have Kuan Yin, we have the Shekinah, but it's like Hathor. I'm getting like being like a sound healer, working with sacred sound, working with your sacred voice. But also, oh, maybe that's why I was getting the throat chakra too, because of the sacred voice. Like you're getting like throat chakra activations and things like that. So like, you know, let's say you've like never really been able to carry a tune and sing and like, you know, but like through your activations right now, you know, this and that, because you've been a singer, you've been a song and sound healer in past lives. Very connected to the dove. You could be seeing a lot of like the white dove or doves. Something about like the lotus flower too. You've had many lifetimes in darkness, and it's like this is like the lifetime now where you're balancing all that. You're rebirthing and opening up again because of all that. Your sacred self, express your gifts. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So in your past lives, you weren't able to, you've expressed your gifts and you've been in your gifts, but you've been condemned. So you weren't, then you had lifetimes where you weren't fully expressing your gifts. Like you weren't in your power. Your gifts got shut down. Let's go ahead and get some past life oracle cards. See what comes through for you guys. Sacred geometry, like the Merkaba and other sacred geometries, could be very significant too, because they are not just like, you know, sacred geometry. I mean, it's like they carry vibration, they carry healing, they carry activations, they carry you know, magic within them, you know. So you could be someone who, you know, you could be like channeling like light language, you could be channeling like symbols, you could be seeing symbols in your third eye, and then you're like channeling them out. Okay, you could be doing like healing art. This is stuff that you've all connected to in your past lives though. See? High priest and high priestess, exactly. Exactly. She's like summoning in this picture. She's summoning. You may have, I'm getting like some of you guys may have had visions and dreams of seeing yourself like in robes and cloaks. Or maybe you just like really like love them, you know? Right? A lot of our like passions and personality and quirks and things like that, you know, it's who we are on a soul level. Like it's like, you know, like you've maybe had a similar personality throughout many lifetimes, right? Like you've loved and had passion towards the same things in many lifetimes, you know? I feel like she's summoning under the sun and she's summoning under the moon. I'm also seeing like a sacred circle, like she's not alone. I feel, okay, so I'm also getting like some of your soul, like your past life, like soul connections and stuff, friends and lovers, like just people that like you've done magic with, you've healed, you know, you guys have known each other, you know what I mean? Like these soul groups, like you've known each other. You're gonna like be coming into like your sacred circle soon if you're not already meeting, you know, other souls who are like you. Also tuning into the elements and the weather. You could be someone who can literally, like you could be very, very, you know, powerful in the way of like, you know, when the mood changes, when your mood changes, the weather changes. Like the weather responds to your energy and mood. And what I'm seeing is like, you know, summoning like rain. Summoning rain. Okay, many like ancient lineages, cultures, you know, like the Native Americans have their rain dance, or they, you know, they could summon rain. They had, you know, like wise women and healers and shamans that would, you know, do like specific things to summon rain. Or to stop it, you know. But I feel that. And what I'm seeing is like some of you guys, you used your gifts, like you were like a magi, or you know, like maybe you were like to a king or a queen or someone royal, or you know, but like what I'm seeing is like maybe a lord who was like a lord of many lands, you know, like a very rich lord. But what I'm seeing is like, you know, basically like you were like an advisor, like a spiritual advisor. What cracks me up is through history, many of like the prominent families, you know, pharaohs, queens, kings, like lords, and right, like they had spiritual advisors. But at the same time, it's how hypocritical it all was and still is to this day. They would have spiritual advisors, but then they would condemn magic and people who practice it, you know? But they themselves would be using a spiritual advisor. Like, isn't that wild? Such hypocrites. History is so hypocritical. Anyways. Finances. I'm talking about riches and the wealthy families and the royals, and then finances comes out. You've made a lot of money with your gifts before too. You were maybe paid a lot of money by a king or a queen, you know, like maybe they summoned you. It's like predicting the weather. You're going to want to plant your crops around this time. You're going to want to harvest your crops, you know, maybe a few weeks early because the frost will come in, or we're going to get a blizzard. You know, I see high winds, or you're not going to want to plant this year, but you're going to want to plant this instead because this won't survive in this winter. Things like that. Also, like advising on attacks and war and like, you know, things like that. Like they would use oracles and seers a lot of the time, you know, to predict outcomes, to predict, you know, how many are coming in and where are they going to be and what's their plan, and like, you know what I mean? I'm also hearing like you're meant to be very wealthy in this lifetime, you guys. Like this is a lot of like your spiritual wealth, like your equity, like, you know, like it's like your dharma, but not just from this lifetime. It's like through many lifetimes. Every injustice turns into justice for you at some point, right? That's what I'm getting here. See, look, after that is the wisdom card, which is unicorn. It's about your spiritual wisdom, which is like the unicorn, which is majestic and rare and powerful and magical, which that's you. So you've been very connected to all of this in past lives. You could be very connected to Asia, or have had past lives in Asia, ancient Egypt. You could have a deep, strong connection to unicorns. Maybe you've always loved them, and maybe, you know, you work with them. I don't know, but it's right here. So, but it's about your spiritual wisdom as a high priest or priestess, as a healer. Let's get one more, please. Love life. Past life, love life. You know what I'm getting specifically is for someone out there, maybe, I don't know. This actually could be for like, right, like multiple people, because I'm reading for a lot of people, and, you know, these kinds of things weren't that uncommon, but what I'm getting is like, you know, for some, like you were like an advisor, like a spiritual advisor, but like the king or queen who you were advising for, they fell in love with you. You may have been the king or the queen. Maybe you've had lifetimes as a king or queen and high priest, high priestess, right? So this is the lifetime though, like that. It's like it's a ripple effect of your past lives too, right? So in this lifetime, you are unleashing your spirit and expressing your gifts, right? In this lifetime, your spiritual equity comes back to you, your dharma, a lot of money. You know, it's the scales of justice and karma balancing because you're doing the work in this lifetime. Again, with your gifts and your wisdom, really being in your power as a mystic, as a seer, as a psychic, as a medium, as a, you know, a healer, whatever that looks like for you. And then to come back together with someone from a past life or past lives. This feels very evolved and very deep. This could be a twin flame, or this is just someone that you've had many past lives with. You guys come together in this lifetime. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have Knighthood. You could be a knight or in the King's Guard. This also always, not always, but a lot of time it comes up the Knights of the Templar. Knights of Templar. Some of you guys, you were warriors. You were Knights of Templar. Connected with the Knights of the Templar, which is an ancient order that protects ancient wisdom and artifacts and history and, you know, different things like that. Okay. This soulmate, this love life energy here with the Knight, this could be someone that, you know, whether you were the person who was the Knight, what I'm seeing is like someone dying in battle or dying in a sword fight, you know, things like that. And basically it's like you guys it's like, because it's past lives, like you guys have lost each other, but this is someone who lost you. And it's like you guys are coming back together, and they will shield you and honor you and protect you and love you in this lifetime. In all the ways they would have done it in past lives. If, you know, this hadn't happened, or they hadn't passed away, or you passed away, or whatever it is, you know? Okay. So let's go ahead and end with a tarot card or two just to add to all of this. Yeah, I'm getting like the stars are aligning. Okay, Leo. I'm also getting something about the Caribbean, maybe being Haitian or having past lives in the Caribbean, in Hades. That's like what I'm getting here. Like I'm getting Haitian. You know, you could be very connected to hoodoo and voodoo, right? Like, but it's just, again, these are past lives. So maybe you've had a past life or two in that, and then maybe you've had a past life or two in Egypt, and then maybe you've had a past life or two in, you know, the Himalayas, Bali, like maybe Japan, I don't know. Very connected to the unicorn and to horses. You might like have this very deep connection with horses because they remind you of the unicorn, or just because, you know, in past lives, horses were a part of everyday life for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, right? Until man invented car, and then, you know, it was like the horse, and then it was like the carriage, you know, and then it was like the carriage like turned into the car, and now everyone has the car, you know. But way before that, just like way before that, you know, there was no such thing as medication and pharmacies and Western medicine in that regard. And we survived for thousands and thousands of years without it, because Earth provides everything that we could ever need, you know. Some of you guys work in the medical field. I'm hearing a nurse practitioner, a doctor. I'm receiving a neurosurgeon, someone who is like a neurologist, but like you're a neurosurgeon. So you've been healing people in other past lives. Maybe you were a doctor in a past life, you know. It's this like really wanting to help and heal and take care of people who need that. Some of you guys were nurses in wars, maybe World War I, maybe the Civil War, maybe the French Revolution. You know what I mean? Like it could be literally, I mean, right, there's so much. So everything I say is for a reason. So if I said those specifically, okay, then some of you guys here were there specifically. Now I'm seeing a love story. Again, with a warrior, a soldier, a nurse falling in love with a soldier she was taking care of. And I know we've seen that in movies plenty of times, right? Like, but I'm literally saying that for you guys. Maybe you've seen that in a movie or a show, and maybe it really touched your heart. You could like love to collect old coins or have a coin collection. Like I'm very drawn to the coins here. The Star card. The Star card came out. This is about destiny and wish fulfillments. It's wish fulfillments, but it's literally about, so for me, it's confirmation that like you are from the stars. You're from the stars. Look at, there's the Two of Cups. Wow. This is destiny aligning. You're going to be coming back together with this person. For those of you guys who are single, maybe you're not single, but maybe you don't even realize that 5 years from now you will be single, you know, and you're going to, I don't know. This feels like relevant right now though. So, you know, take it how it goes. But this is like, I feel like you guys are both celestial, right? Like you guys are both from the stars. You guys are both star seeds. Some of you guys are both earth angels or whatever, but you're definitely, I'm talking to like very like magical energy here. There could be something about the blue jay. There's a little blue jay right here in the corner. Just being very connected with the stars. Beautiful wishes fulfilled. There's beautiful alignment here, destiny, but it's connected to your past lives. The rainbow is significant too. Looking into each other's eyes, like the activation that happens. I'm telling you, it's coming full circle in this lifetime, you guys. You guys finally come together. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But more than that, wishes are fulfilled. Money. Like, this is like past life. Like, it's like what's owed to you. You know? Look at bottom of the... I was going to start shuffling, but look, bottom of the deck. The sun card. You have the sun and the stars. It's like you're someone's sun, moon, and stars. you know, but it's extreme happiness. It's the biggest yes. Also harnessing that solar power, energy from the stars. I'm hearing a star is born, like the movie, you know what I mean? A star is born. Some of you guys, you're about to be very famous or in the spotlight. You may have been famous in a past life. I mean, I don't know, like you could be Shakespeare reincarnated. You could be Michelangelo reincarnated or Leonardo da Vinci. I have no idea. You know what I mean? You could be George Washington. Maybe you were a famous figure in history. You know what I mean? Or just very connected to them. You could be from their bloodline, you know what I mean? Like the lineage. This is, oh my God, duh. This is your energy, Leo. We have water energy, but then we have Aquarius and Leo here. Great happiness, Leo. There's stuff connected to your... This happiness also has to do, because the star card is healing, right? So this also has to do with the healing that you have done that's in this lifetime, that's connected to past lives. And because of that, boom, you're going to be so happy. Because of that, there's a lot of victory. Because of that, like the sun is shining upon you in life. Success, victory, you know, triumph. It's like the sun connects with all of that. It's also divine masculine energy too. You've taken back a lot of your power from past lives, and it has catapulted you in such beautiful ways. And for, you know, who's ever sees this through all space and time, like, you know what I mean? Because it's timeless, even though I'm honing in for right now in April, right? It's timeless. There's a lot of success, Leo, and I think you guys know it. Like, you have felt it your whole life. Like, I'm meant for big things. I have a big purpose. I'm really special. I know that I'm powerful. I know I'm meant to be wealthy and successful and rich, you know, but it's because you can handle it without it be, you know, there's people who can't handle it because they get dark. They go to the dark side. They get even greedier. They become obsessed and greedy and, like, you know what I mean? Who I'm talking about, you guys are the Leo, the lion heart. Like, you guys have a beautiful heart and soul. You guys can handle riches and high levels of success because you won't abuse the power. Just like you won't abuse your gifts, your spiritual gifts. You know what I mean? So anyways, loves, I'm going to leave it here. If you guys want to connect with me one-on-one, all of my reading options and spiritual services are in the description box below. I do, you know, general readings. I do Akashic past life readings, goddess channelings, vent sessions. I do one-on-one intuitive energy healing sessions, etc. And also we are going to the south of France. We are going to the south of France in this September, the 20th through the 29th, for a Sacred Magdalene Code retreat. I am co-hosting with two beautiful souls who do these retreats for over 10 years now, all around the world for the Magdalene and Rose lineage. It's for men and women. They are a beloved divine counterpart couple, Stellar and John. And anyways, if you want to hear more about this, you guys, just see I pinned in the comment below. Just click on the YouTube video, watch the video where I go into depth about all the things. And then it will also guide you on how to proceed and to book a spot for the retreat. So we have some spaces left and available. We would love, love, love to have you guys. But anyways, that's all, you guys. So I'm going to leave it here. I love you, Leo. Thank you so much for your support and love on this channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and boom, hit the notification bell. Thank you for liking and commenting. It helps the channel grow and it helps these videos get out there to the souls who need them. So it's also just good karma, etc. So anyways, thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.